Hello everybody, I'm Don Counts and we are here at the Warrior exhibit in Fayetteville, Tennessee. And today we have veteran Billy Hall. Billy, tell us a bit about yourself and what led you into the military.
Okay, well, again, my name is Billy Hall. Born and raised here in Fayetteville, Tennessee. Feel like one of the best places that I could ever imagine. One of the most friendliest towns that I know, and it always had military on my mind since I was a kid. You guys may not remember this, but they used to have these little toy soldiers that they used to let us play with when I was a kid growing up, and they were called G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe meant a lot to me because I would even watch the TV program on TV as a kid, and I always wanted to be like G.I. Joe, you know. But for a long time, I thought that my daddy was actually a military man, and that kind of caught my eye because Daddy used to love to watch combats, military movies, and you name it, something that has something to do with the military. And I always thought that I said, no, I think Daddy was a military man at one time. Every kid wants to be like their daddy.
Yeah.
Well, at the time, I that's what I was saying. I said, you know what? One day I think I'm gonna join the military. What really won me over was back in the '70s was my brother, my oldest brother, was the front leader. He was the one that actually pulled me in. That was right at the time when they had stopped actually drafting, and he volunteered. I was scared to death for him because when I think of military, I thought of wars, and at the time it was during the Vietnam War. So I figured, I said, my brother's going in. Wow, what a man. That's my brother. And the more I got to thinking about it, I got to thinking about the ones who wanted to go like me and was unable to go. So back in 1976, I ended up doing what they called then was a delay entry program. I actually joined a year before I left out of Fayetteville, not realizing that there was a good possibility I even could have scholarship while I was playing football here in Fayetteville at the time. But at the time, that was not my worry. My focus was more on being a military guy. So I checked around a couple of different militaries and decided that this is where I wanted to be. I wanted to be like G.I. Joe. He was an Army guy. I joined, thinking that my best friend that was going to join with me at the time on the delay entry program on a buddy plan, he bagged out. Not realizing how much at the time then, just by him not being there with me, I thought that was the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And it wasn't. Probably the best thing that could have happened. I went my own route, the route that I was sent to, and actually done pretty good. I always wanted to shoot every weapon that I could get my hands on. Wanted to actually be a better soldier than anybody that I was ever around, and that was my mindset. Graduating from Fort Sill, Oklahoma, back in '77, graduated number 2 on the post as one of the soldiers who had one of the highest grades of basic training and AIT. Really proud of that. Really happy of that. Didn't see that in me actually, but as I advanced and moved forward and moved on, I realized that this was the place for me. Ended up being a platoon guide the whole time I was there doing basic training. And that's some at the time then that was unheard of. You may get a week or two to be a platoon guide and then somebody else will slide in your position. but I kept it the whole time I was there. Really proud of what I accomplished while I was there, but more so proud that I took the time out to do something that I think personally that every young man might want to look at someday. Okay, there was no prouder time in my life to wear a United States Army uniform. Probably the proudest I ever been because again, graduating number 2 of a post is a huge accomplishment, and there may be thousands of soldiers at one post. Not bad for a little old country boy from Fayetteville, Tennessee. But I really wanted to always make sure that whatever I did, it was not only representing me as a person, but me honoring the military, honoring those people who could not go and wanted to go, and most of all, the fallen soldiers. So there was a proud time for me to be part of a military, which we all know one of the strongest militaries in the world. And if I had an opportunity to do it once again, and of course I won't, I would. Best time of my life, best days of my life, and more so than ever, what a privilege and an honor to serve this country and to serve the people of this community. So that was one of the biggest reasons why I come, that I actually wanted to be a part, and didn't do real bad. Did pretty good, and I now really understand why they call Tennessee the volunteer state. It was a privilege and an honor to volunteer for something that you didn't have to make me come. I wanted to be a part of it, and again, if I had one chance to do it, more chance to do it in a lifetime, I promise you I would do it again and be honored to do so. Thank you.
Tell everybody about how long you were in the military.
I served 4 years of the active military, stationed at Fort Sill, Kentucky, 101st Airborne Division. Hoorah! Lot of fun, a lot of learning, and I don't really think that I would would become the man that I am today if I had not joined and stayed with it at that time there. But once I left Fort Campbell, I came back to Fayetteville and doing 911. Of course, I was sitting at home when that day happened. After 911 hit, it came over me that we were in a position to where we had soldiers joining, but no prior service soldiers that could go in there and help teach them, help them along the way. So I decided to go back again. And I actually served the total of 14 years total in the military. And some people ask me why you didn't go to 20. Okay. Don't know why, except I did a lot of running when I was in there. And I guess I kind of got burnt out there after a while, because I ran 2 times a day, 6 miles in the morning, 6 miles in the evening. If you do that for 4 years, that's a lot of running. That's a lot of miles.
What all did you do when you went back in?
I went back in. I was 13B, which is a cannoneer, and what I did was shot cannons for a living, and enjoyed the mess out of it, because I learned so much off of one weapon and how much one weapon could do, and the destruction that one weapon could actually bring. Okay, so I spent 14 years in and spent all of my time, the whole time, doing the cannoneer / end up becoming an assistant recruiter here in Fayetteville.
Tell me about how you aim one of those cannons. It seems like it's just pointing in one direction.
That's good. That's a good question. Pretty interesting how those things worked. You have to have what they would call a gunner, an assistant gunner, and you have the cannoneers. Then that's the guys that make sure you get the bullet in the gun. A lot goes into it. Those guns have to be set. You have to, and what I mean by set, they have to be set by a group called FDC, and have to be where when you shot, you hit your target. The thing that I remember probably most that really made my time in the military was I was a PFC, private first class, at Fort Sill, Kentucky, and we were doing an inspection through generals at the time, and they was out watching us perform duties on our weapons, on our guns. We had been airlifted by what we called back then Chinooks, and we airlifted our guns, and we had to get on the helicopter itself, and we did what they called at the time was a hip shoot. And a hip shoot was where you land, you drop your guns down, you set them up, you fire off 6 rounds, you load everything back up, hook the guns back up, get back in the helicopter, and go. Okay, and there was a time sequence where you had to do that, and unfortunately or fortunately at the time when that went on, it was our gun that got called the hot gun. We were the one that had to do it. Granted, I didn't know that my section chief was not going to be there. He was driving the truck on the ground. I was in a helicopter with the soldiers. So the next man in charge, guess who? PFC Hall. So thank God I took my training serious in Oklahoma. I did. I took all of that stuff serious, but I knew what to do. We dropped that gun down. We spread the spades out on it, put the spades on, did the leveling, knocked out 6 rounds in 6 minutes, hooked back up, and left. The generals were excited. They wanted to know who was that PFC that just got them rounds out like it and had all 6 direct hits. Well, I ended up getting a medal for that. Okay, and it was something that really got me really pumped about the military then, because I was thinking, I'm just a private first class. The people that did the job, that did the hard part, was privates, and they all did exactly what I asked them to do, what I called them to do. Like I said, the generals, they were excited, ended up getting a medal from it. Matter of fact, got a rank behind it because they couldn't believe that a PFC could actually do all that.
So you had a good team. You stay in touch with any of them?
Used to. It's been, matter of fact, it's been 3 weeks since I talked to one of my friends that lives in Illinois, Mississippi. And the conversation that we still hold today is our time in the military. He was just excited just as much as I was, but he's about the only one that I talk to now.
I guess when you're doing what you're doing, there's a lot of safety concerns because that's a pretty dangerous job.
Really dangerous, and of course we've seen some accidents there. You know, it was during peacetime, but let me say, even during peacetime, you're still doing military work, which could be dangerous.
Absolutely. Anything else you'd like to tell us about your military experience?
Well, if I had these last words to say about the experience that I had again, I'm fortunate that I've had 2 out of my family who actually joined and served their time, and I'm truly proud of them. And I want to say this: it's when you watch your friends and watch your mother or your father go do those kind of things in life, it kind of pulls at you that this just might be this might be the thing for me. And I can truly say the Army did me good. It made me the man that I am today. And I am so grateful. I am truly grateful that I got a chance to experience it.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your family's service. And we appreciate you talking to us.
Thank you, sir, and God bless you.